Hello, my name is Stephen Cass, a Special Project Editor here at Technology Review. Disruptive technologies are those which are often initially dismissed as trivial or even retrograde innovations, but which turn out to possess key features that upend entire industries. Disruption may also occur when technologies simply permit people to do what they've always been able to do, but in entirely new contexts. To illustrate these points, we've picked some of our favorite examples of the most disruptive consumer technologies.
First, we go back to the 1910s and the introduction of domestic refrigerators. Although early models used toxic chemicals as refrigerants, they began the destruction of the large commercial ice harvesting and distribution businesses of the time. According to historian Barbara Krasner-Kite, by 1907, 14 to 15 million tons of natural ice was being handled by the industry in the US. But increasing contamination from pollution and sewage meant the clean ice generated by electric refrigerators was a winning advantage. Such patterns repeat again and again, for example in 1976 and the introduction of the VHS videotape by JVC. The popular myth is that VHS tapes are an example of technological injustice, defeating the superior Betamax tape format from Sony. In fact, while the picture quality of VHS was somewhat inferior, most consumers didn't notice. More importantly, they were attracted by the fact that VHS tapes had a long enough recording time that most movies could fit on a single tape, eliminating the need to swap in a second tape in the middle of a movie. The consequent widespread adoption of videotape technology ultimately transformed the business models of movie studios. Next, we move to 1983 and the introduction of the Motorola Dynatac 8000X, the first commercial personal cell phone. As well as allowing consumers to easily receive calls away from their homes and offices for the first time, the Dynatac paved the way for today's smartphones. Cellular phones transformed the telephone industry, making an end run around the cozy monopolies, or near monopolies, the telephone companies enjoyed in providing landlines, and also allowed developing nations to jumpstart their telecommunications infrastructure. Sticking with communications technologies, we come to 1994 and the introduction of Netscape Navigator, along with a number of other early web browsers. These made the internet, then just a bare-bones network for geeks and academics, appealing to a broad swath of consumers. Initially connecting through dial-up modems, the web would go on to become the biggest consumer-driven disruptive technology of all time, with profound consequences for the music and newspaper industries, with sites like Craigslist stealing the classified ad revenue that was the bread and butter of many newspapers.
Books and magazines have been in trouble too, struggling to adapt paper-based business models to the new electronic era.